When we read in the book of Genesis about the birth of Jacob and Esau, we are not reading about the birth of two individual fleshly persons, but we are witnessing the birth of two manner of nature, two opposing manner of nature or being, two very opposing codes of conduct in this life. Jacob represents the spiritual man, the man who dwells in his tent. His tent is his body. He dwells in his inner world. Esau is the man of the field. The field is the physical world. He is the man of the flesh. He represents the carnal mind. Jacob represents the spiritual mind. The carnal mind, or Esau, perceives everything through the lens of outward appearance. He is the manner of man who thinks that a church is a brick and mortar building, whereas the scriptures clearly tell him that God doesn't dwell in temples made with human hands, and Christ tells you that you are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you. As we can clearly see, these are two very opposing manner of nature or being. Because the spiritually minded man sees everything through the lens of the Spirit, through the lens of the internal world. He considers internal things, not external things. Let's read. And Isaac entreated for his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord, or was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Rebekah his wife is his feelings, his emotions, or in this context, Rebekah symbolizes the soul. And the children struggled together within her, meaning the carnal mind and the spiritual mind struggled within the soul for dominance. And she said, the soul, if it be so, why am I thus? What is going on in me with this struggle? And she went to inquire of and said unto her, 2 nations are in your womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, from the bowels of the soul. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So as we know, the elder is Esau, the carnal mind. The carnally minded man shall serve the spiritually minded man, or Jacob. Because you see, when we are born into this physical world, the man who is first living in us is Esau. The carnally minded man, the fleshly man, the man who is entirely focused on outward appearance. Is that not true? The spiritual man, Jacob, is born after him. He is the second born. He is the birth of the new man. He is the rebirth that happens in us. He is the transforming of our mind, the transforming through renewal of our mind, that is. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, the spiritual mind and the carnal mind. And the first came out red, all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. Why hairy garment? Because he is rough to the touch. Why is he rough to the touch? Because he's the carnal man. Esau is the carnal man. He's the rough man. Because he is doing his hard labor in the physical world. That is why he is rough, right? Isn't he rough and violent from all of the hard labor, from all of the slavery that he does every day, working to please his flesh? Is it not so? But it says of Jacob that he is a smooth man. Why is he smooth? Because he turned away from the enticement of the physical world. He is not roughened up. He is not pierced through by many sorrows, just like the carnal man is. And they named him Esau. He came out with the hairy garment. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, which is what I just told you. And his name was called Jacob. Didn't I tell you that first Esau is born? First the carnally minded man is born in you when you are born into this world. And he lives throughout your youth. This is why the scriptures tell you that youth is vanity. Because you are living as the carnally minded man in your youth. And after that came his brother. Okay, I already read that. And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in his tent, which is exactly what I just told you before. Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. A man of the field. He was a worker, a laborer, a hunter in the physical world, in the world of outward appearance, in the world of getting and acquiring, because that is his nature. His nature is to acquire selfishly, because he is carnally minded. That, by the way, to get and to acquire is the name or the nature of Cain. You know, the guy who killed his brother Abel, the spiritual man? The carnal man killed the spiritual man. This is the repetition or the mirroring of that story of Cain and Abel. Abel and Cain, Jacob and Esau. Spiritual man against the flesh man. Jacob against Esau. He was a cunning hunter. That means that he was very cunning in the ways of the flesh, that is. And Jacob was a plain man. He was a simple man dwelling in his tent. But plain doesn't just mean simple. It means that he practiced equity on a plain level, right? The carnal man doesn't practice equity, he practices iniquity, which is selfishness. So it says that Jacob wasn't selfish, he was a loving man. And Isaac loved Esau. Why did he love him? Because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob. So Isaac loved Esau, the carnal man, because the carnal man provides him with the dainties, the good things of the carnal world, the fleshly world, the venison. And Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Esau was faint, he was tired from slave laboring, from doing his hard labor in the physical world, the carnal man, which is what he does. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage called, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, "Sell me this day your birthright." And Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?" What is the birthright of any man, even Esau? The birthright of any man, which many have sold already, is the spiritual mind, which is Christ in you. The I am in you is your birthright. That is the promised land. And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day," and he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. What did Esau sell his birthright? His right to the spiritual mind, which is Christ. He sold Christ for what? For red pottage, for temporary pleasure, for temporary gain. He sold his birthright for a meal. He sold Christ for basically a cheeseburger. That is the stupidity of the carnal man. That is the stupidity of the carnal mind. You see, the carnal mind does not perceive any value in the spirit. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 14, but the natural man receives not the things of the Spirit of God, because they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are what? They are spiritually discerned. And the carnal man cannot discern the Spirit.